Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Mucedorus and we get to hear from Mucedorus today, kicking off Act 1, Scene 11. But oh no, we just finished Act 1, Scene 9 yesterday. So Mucedorus and Amandine had agreed to run away. They were going to meet at this rendezvous point and she got there first, but then a cannibal found her, but then she uncannibaled him and they went away. She didn't want to, but he sort of made her. And then Mucedorus showed up to the rendezvous point, but he was the only one there. And then he heard some people shouting. He thought they were looking for him, so he went to run and hide. And then Mouse got into a thing with an old woman about a cup that he'd stolen from her pub. And then Sagasto came running out and told Mouse, go search everywhere because the shepherd has run away with Amandine. And Mouse is like, yep, I will check the bottom of every beer barrel that I find along the way. And that brings us to the end of Act 1, Scene 9. So Act 1, Scene 10, we flash back to the Kingdom of Valencia, which is where Mucedorus is originally from. And we're with the King of Valencia and Anselmo and Rodrigo and some of his guys. And the king is very upset because his son is missing. He didn't know that Mucedorus was gone. He didn't know that Mucedorus was going anywhere. But Anselmo, who we met at the very beginning of the play, is like, you know what, Your Honor, just, he's fine. He's fine. He ran off because he was in love with Amandine and he wanted to go pursue her. And the king is like, well, thank goodness he's okay. Let's go and find him. And that's basically Act 1, Scene 10. Just a quick little throwback to, you know, there's other stuff going on beyond just the craziness in the woods and the bear and disguises and all these sorts of various things. We have to check in with where Mucedorus came from because eventually things are going to have to get wrapped up. And it also feels a little bit like in between Act 1, Scene 9 and Act 1, Scene 10 might be a good place to put an intermission if you're ever going to do like a live production of this. But anyway, that's up to you because then you get both acts starting with being in the Kingdom of Valencia. Anyway, Act 1, Scene 11, we're in the forest again, and Mucedorus comes in by himself, and he says, now, Mucedorus, whither wilt thou go? Home to thy father, to thy native soil, or try some long abode within these woods? Well, I will hence depart and hie me home. What, hie me home, said I? That may not be. In Amandine rests my felicity. Then, Mucedorus, do as thou didst decree. Attire thee hermit-like within these groves. Walk often to the beach and view the well. Make settles there and seat thyself thereon. And when thou feelst thyself to be athirst, then drink a hearty draught to Amandine. No doubt she thinks on thee, and will one day come pledge thee at this well. Come, Habit, thou art fit for me. And then he changes from a shepherd disguise into a hermit disguise. No shepherd now, a hermit I must be. Methinks this fits me very well. Now I must learn to bear a walking staff and exercise some gravity withal. So this is Mucedorus sort of returning to the scene of the crime, but not knowing exactly what to do next. He starts out by saying, my choices are live here in the woods or go back home to Valencia. And he's like, well, I guess it's time to go home. And he's like, what am I talking about? Go home. Amandine is here. She's what I want. So I'm going to live in these woods, but I have to disguise myself from my disguise because they're looking for a shepherd. So I'm going to disguise myself as a hermit, but then every day I can go to the tree by the well and wait by it and see if Amandine eventually comes back because she has to be thinking about me. She has to be missing me. She will eventually come back. So he throws on some hermit clothes, which he just happens to have from nowhere that is described. He puts it on and he's like, yeah, this works. Okay, now I'm gonna be a hermit. At which point Mouse comes in because he's looking for a shepherd. And we're gonna get into the conversation between Mouse and Mucedorus in anticipation of tomorrow's monologue from Mouse. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.